When I started Alibaba, many people said, "Jack, you're crazy. How can a small team compete with giants like eBay?" But I've always believed that thinking small doesn't take you far. Big goals, the ones that seem impossible, are what inspire us to grow, to learn, and to achieve the extraordinary. I ask you, if not now, when? If not you, who? Life is too short to dream small. Big goals are like stars in the sky. You might never physically reach them, but they illuminate your path and guide every step you take. When I plan something, I think 10, 20 years ahead. It's not just about financial success, it's about creating something that can impact millions of lives. That's how we built Alibaba, not just to be another company, but to transform how small businesses operate worldwide. I believe small goals can trap us in a comfort zone, while big goals challenge us to find strength and creativity we didn't even know we had. I remember when I shared our long-term vision with the team. Many were nervous, others skeptical, but I told them, if we dream big enough, we will find the way. If we dream small, we are already limiting ourselves. And that's exactly what happened. Our vision gave us the courage to tackle the impossible. Big goals also bring unique clarity. When you know where you're going, distractions lose their power. For example, when we were trying to launch Taobao, we faced constant criticism and endless technical issues. But our vision was so clear that every obstacle felt like just another lesson on the way to success. This focus gave us the energy to keep going, even when no one believed in us. So what I want to say is simple. If you're dreaming small, you're holding yourself back. Big goals aren't just a choice, they're a necessity for anyone who wants to make a lasting impact in the world. And now I ask, what's stopping you from taking the first step? When I think of success, the first word that comes to mind is clarity. Without clarity, even the best ideas can get lost. I learned this very early. If you don't know where you're going, any path seems fine, and that's dangerous. Having a clear vision of the future is like holding a map in your hands. No matter how tough the roads are, you know where you're headed. When we started Alibaba, our vision was simple: to help small businesses grow. That clarity guided all our decisions. I asked my team, how can we make life easier for our customers? It wasn't about us, it was about them. That's what kept us focused, even when the challenges seemed overwhelming. Without a clear vision, we would have wasted time chasing opportunities that didn't align with our mission. Clarity also helps you make tough decisions. For example, in the beginning, we had to choose between chasing quick profits or investing for the long term. We knew the second path was riskier, but it was the only one that made sense with our vision. As I often say, if you want to catch the rabbit, don't change the rabbit, change yourself. This clarity helped us adjust our approach without ever straying from the goal. Have you noticed how easy it is to get distracted today? Social media, other people's opinions, the pressure for immediate results, all these can pull your attention away. That's why clarity isn't just about goals, it's about shielding your mind from external noise. When you have a clear purpose, it's like gaining a shield against distractions. I believe clarity is the difference between ordinary and extraordinary. It's what turns good intentions into real results. When you understand your purpose and stay focused, everything begins to align naturally. It's like building a solid bridge over turbulent waters, knowing every step brings you closer to the other side. I always say that if you want to build something great, you need to learn to ignore distractions. When we founded Alibaba, we were just a small group of dreamers constantly facing criticism. Experts said we were wasting time, that we would never compete with American companies. If we had listened to them, we would never have gotten off the ground. That's why we developed what I call a mental fortress, a daily practice of blocking out external noise and focusing on what truly matters. Noise can come from all directions: pessimistic people, friends' opinions, market demands. However, I realized that by aligning our vision, we became more resilient. This mindset allowed us to ignore comparisons and find innovative solutions. Many asked how we stood out while so many startups failed. The answer is simple. We didn't get distracted by what others were doing. We focused on what we were building. I also learned that blocking out noise doesn't mean isolating yourself, but carefully choosing what you let into your mind. Surrounding yourself with people who share your vision and believe in your potential makes all the difference. I remember a time when external pressure was at its peak. I told my team, it doesn't matter what they're saying out there. Our job is to do the best we can for our customers. That's what will set us apart. The most important thing is to understand that the world's noise only has power over you if you allow it. Don't let doubts and other people's opinions stop you from moving forward. When you know what you want, every obstacle becomes a learning opportunity, not a barrier. At Alibaba, we learned to turn criticism into fuel to continuously improve our services. Blocking out external noise is a constant practice. It's like sharpening a blade. It takes attention and effort. But once you master it, something magical happens. Your energy focuses, your confidence grows, and you realize you can achieve results that once seemed unattainable. This mental fortress is what gave us the strength to keep going, even when everything felt uncertain. One of the most important lessons I've learned is that your environment directly impacts what you can achieve. When I founded Alibaba, I understood that success wouldn't depend only on our ideas, but also on the space we created to bring them to life. It wasn't just about having the right tools or advanced technology. It was about creating a place where our minds and spirits were ready to produce at the highest level. A productive environment starts with energy. At Alibaba, I always emphasize the importance of bringing positive energy to every project. Energy isn't just physical, it's also mental and emotional. We made it a priority to create a space where everyone felt their ideas mattered and their contributions were part of something greater. When you feel energized and valued, your creativity and productivity reach another level. This kind of environment also requires cutting out distractions and building healthy habits. I always encourage my team to find a balance between intense work and moments of rest. Even during our toughest times, we prioritized activities that helped us recharge. A productive environment isn't one that demands 24/7 work, but one that values quality over quantity. Another critical factor is fostering a culture of learning. From the very beginning, I worked to build a team that valued continuous growth. We invested in training, shared books, and exchanged experiences. When the environment is focused on evolution, everyone feels motivated to strive for the next level. This not only boosts productivity, but also strengthens resilience in the face of challenges. Creating an environment for high productivity is above all an intentional choice. It doesn't happen by accident. You build it with every decision and daily action. A space that inspires, energizes, and supports can transform your ability to achieve big goals. At Alibaba, this environment became the foundation for innovations that impacted millions of lives. Have you ever had that moment when everything seems to flow perfectly? When your mind and actions are so in sync that ideas come effortlessly? That's the state of flow, and I can confidently say it was one of the secrets behind Alibaba's success. For me, entering this state is like finding a unique frequency where focus, energy, and creativity come together to produce extraordinary results. In the early days of Alibaba, my team and I worked tirelessly, but there were days when we seemed to reach a completely different level. It felt like we were so connected to our purpose that the challenges seemed smaller and the solutions clearer. This state doesn't happen by chance, it's something you cultivate. I believe flow comes from being fully present in the moment, free from distractions, and focused on something bigger than yourself. Many great leaders, athletes, and artists regularly enter this state. They have routines and practices that prepare them to perform at the highest level. In my case, introspection has always helped. Taking time to think, visualize our goals, and calmly plan allowed me to access a deeper level of creativity and clarity. For others, it might be meditation, running, or even listening to music. What matters is finding what activates your flow. Flow is also amplified by passion and purpose. I remember telling my team, when we're truly connected to what we want to create, everything seems to align. And that's exactly what happened. Our desire to help small businesses around the world motivated us to work with dedication, even when the conditions were challenging. Flow is less about what you do and more about why you do it. Entering the state of flow is like unlocking a new version of yourself, more focused, creative, and resilient. When you're in this state, problems don't seem so big, and solutions appear more easily. In the end, flow isn't just a tool. It's a differentiator that separates those who achieve the extraordinary from those who settle for the ordinary. One thing I've learned is that success isn't built in a single brilliant moment, but through the consistency of daily habits. Every small action you take, day after day, shapes your mind and defines the future you'll have. Early in my career, I wasn't the smartest or most talented person in the room, but what set me apart was my determination to develop habits that prepared me for success. One habit I value deeply is visualization. I always imagine what I want to achieve in detail, as if it's already within my grasp. This practice doesn't just help me stay focused, it also builds my confidence. As I like to say, if you want to catch the rabbit, don't change the rabbit, change yourself. Visualizing success isn't about changing the world around you, but adjusting your mindset to find solutions and opportunities. Another important habit for me is practicing Tai Chi. It's not just something I do for exercise, it helps me find balance. When I started, it seemed simple, but I realized it helped me stay calm, even during the most stressful situations. Tai Chi became a tool to think clearly and act decisively, especially during challenging times at Alibaba. Reflection is also a daily practice for me. Whether at the end of a busy afternoon or before going to bed, I take a moment to organize my thoughts and understand what worked and what didn't. It's not about seeking perfection, but creating a rhythm that keeps me constantly growing. Combined with habits like Tai Chi and visualization, these moments have anchored me through difficult times. Over time, I've seen how these small habits define who we become. They shape our discipline, our way of thinking, and even the confidence we have in ourselves. They're not just routines, they're the foundation for achieving any grand goal. And the best part is that when these habits become part of who you are, success stops being a distant goal and becomes a natural reflection of what you do every day. In the early days of Alibaba, every day felt like a battle. The pressure was immense, and our achievements seemed so small compared to the challenges we faced. But one thing I learned quickly is that to reach grand goals, it's crucial to appreciate every small win along the way. These moments are like milestones on a long journey, reminding you that you're making progress, even when the ultimate goal feels far away. I remember the first time we secured a small international contract. To many, it might have seemed insignificant, but for us, it was proof that we were on the right path. I gathered my team and we celebrated in a simple but joyful way. That moment created such positive energy that it gave us the strength to keep tackling the obstacles ahead. It's not about extravagant celebrations, it's about recognizing that every step matters. Celebrating small wins is also a way to keep the passion alive for what you're doing. During tough days, when everything felt like it was against us, these celebrations reminded us why we started. It's like recharging an emotional battery. I remember when we reached our first 100 customers. While it was a small number compared to what we dreamed of, we marked the occasion with gratitude and a renewed vision for the future. These moments of celebration create a cycle of motivation. When you allow yourself to acknowledge your accomplishments, no matter how small, you feel more confident to face the next challenges. It's like climbing a mountain. Looking back to see how far you've come gives you the courage to keep going. At Alibaba, we learned to find joy in every advancement because we knew they were building blocks for the greater success ahead. Never underestimate the power of a small win. They don't just reinforce progress, but also fuel your mind and spirit. Valuing these achievements keeps your energy high and your determination unshaken. And in the end, when you finally reach that big goal, you'll realize it was the small victories that made all the difference. One of the most valuable lessons I've learned is that planning your day isn't just about organization. It's a strategy to stay in control of your life. I always start my day with a moment of reflection. I take a few minutes to set priorities and think about the small actions I can take to move closer to my goals. This habit helps me begin the day with clarity and purpose. But planning the day isn't just a morning task. At night, I make it a point to review everything that was done. During Alibaba's early days, when it felt like there weren't enough hours to handle all we needed to accomplish, this practice gave me perspective. It was like creating a daily balance sheet. What worked, what could be improved. This ritual allowed me to learn from mistakes quickly instead of letting them pile up. I believe planning is a conversation with yourself. When you organize your morning, you're giving your day a clear direction. When you review at night, you're adjusting the course. I remember a time when we were launching new platforms at Alibaba. Every day started with a quick meeting to outline the steps and ended with an honest evaluation of what we had achieved. This process kept us aligned and productive, even in the most intense periods. Daily planning is also an exercise in self-awareness. By setting goals for the day, You become more conscious of how you're using your time and energy. It's a constant reminder of where you want to go and what's needed to get there. At night, reviewing your actions helps you refine your approach, improve, and move forward more effectively. This cycle keeps you focused, even on the hardest days. For me, planning in the morning and reviewing at night is like preparing the mind for a daily marathon. It's a simple but incredibly powerful habit that balances action with reflection. Once you master this practice, you'll find that every day becomes an opportunity to grow and move closer to your biggest dreams. If there's one thing that separates great leaders from everyone else, it's the ability to persist when things get tough. During Alibaba's early years, there were days when continuing seemed impossible. Investors turned us down, technical issues piled up, and criticism was relentless. In those moments, I always reminded my team, the hardest days are the ones that make us stronger. Persistence isn't just about holding on. It's about finding a reason to keep moving forward, even when everything around you seems to be falling apart. I remember one night in 2001 when our financial situation was so dire, we didn't know if we could pay the bills the next month. Instead of giving in to despair, I called my team together and said, "If not now, when? If not us, who?" Those words weren't just motivational, they were a commitment to our purpose. Difficult days also teach invaluable lessons. Every obstacle we faced at Alibaba made us more creative and resilient. For instance, when we realized we couldn't compete directly with market giants, we found ways to stand out. It was in those moments of adversity that we discovered our true strength. Persistence isn't just about continuing, it's about learning and growing as you move forward. I've also realized that persistence is deeply tied to purpose. When you have a clear vision and believe in the impact of what you're doing, finding the strength to keep going feels natural. It's not that challenges disappear, but they stop being reasons to give up. It's like walking through a storm, knowing there's something worthwhile waiting on the other side. Persisting on difficult days is a test of character. These moments reveal what truly matters and what you're capable of. Looking back, I see that it was the tough times that shaped us and prepared us for our greatest successes. And in the end, I realized that without those challenging days, we wouldn't have built something so extraordinary. When I look at the most successful people I've met, there's one thing they all have in common. Their motivation comes from a deep sense of purpose. For me, this has always been the driving force behind everything I've done. At Alibaba, we didn't start just to build a company. We started to solve a real problem for small businesses. That sense of purpose kept us going, even when the challenges seemed overwhelming. Purpose gives your work meaning, and meaning gives you energy. I've always said, when you're poor, if you have a dream, you never feel poor. In the early days of Alibaba, we had very little money, but we were rich in dreams. That belief in something greater than ourselves gave us the motivation to keep pushing forward, even when it felt like the odds were against us. Motivation rooted in purpose also builds resilience. When you're connected to a larger goal, setbacks don't feel like failures. They feel like steps on a longer journey. I remember a time when we faced significant competition, and many doubted our ability to survive. Instead of getting discouraged, we reminded ourselves of why we started. That sense of purpose became our compass, guiding us through uncertainty. Purpose-driven motivation also inspires others to join you. At Alibaba, our team wasn't just motivated by salaries or titles. They were inspired by the mission we were working toward. When people see that you're genuinely committed to something meaningful, they naturally want to be part of it. Purpose creates a ripple effect that energizes everyone around you. Ultimately, motivation rooted in purpose is what keeps you moving when nothing else will. It's the fuel that powers you through the toughest days and gives you the strength to keep climbing. And when you align your work with your purpose, success becomes more than an outcome. It becomes a journey filled with meaning and fulfillment. One of the most powerful lessons I've learned is that success demands relentless focus on what truly matters. At Alibaba, we faced countless opportunities to explore new directions, but I always reminded my team to stay committed to the most valuable goals. Chasing everything often leads to accomplishing nothing. Instead, focusing on the goals that align with your vision is the key to making real progress. In our early days, we were tempted to pursue quick wins to boost our revenue, but I insisted that we prioritize building a platform that truly served small businesses. It wasn't easy. Quick wins seemed tempting, but we knew they wouldn't align with our long-term vision. I often told my team, success is not about doing everything, it's about doing the right things well. This philosophy helped us make decisions that fueled sustainable growth. Relentless focus also means being willing to say no to distractions. There were times when other companies tried to partner with us in ways that would have diluted our mission. While it was tempting to accept, we chose to stay true to our core goals. That clarity gave us the discipline to navigate challenges and resist the urge to compromise on our vision. Focusing on important goals is also about consistency. Progress isn't always fast, but every step adds up. I remember when we set out to make Taobao the leading e-commerce platform in China. It took years of persistence and unwavering dedication to achieve that goal. But because we never lost sight of what mattered most, we built something that lasted. The truth is, relentless focus isn't just about staying on track, it's about building momentum. When you commit to important goals with determination, every success reinforces your confidence and motivates you to aim even higher. In the end, this focus becomes the foundation for extraordinary achievements. Greatness doesn't start with your circumstances, it starts with your mindset. I've always believed that the way you think shapes the way you act, and the way you act shapes your results. Reprogramming your mind for greatness is about replacing self-doubt with confidence and limiting beliefs with empowering thoughts. It's not an overnight process, but it's one of the most transformative steps you can take. In the early days of Alibaba, many people doubted our ability to succeed, including some on our own team. But I always encouraged them to visualize success and focus on possibilities rather than obstacles. I'd say, if you can see it in your mind, you can create it in reality. This simple mindset shift helped us take bold actions, even when the odds were against us. One of the tools I use to reprogram my mind is positive reinforcement. Every day I remind myself of our purpose and the progress we've made. This practice keeps me grounded and optimistic, even during challenging times. It's like planting seeds of success in your mind. They grow stronger with consistent care. Another critical aspect is surrounding yourself with people who inspire and challenge you. At Alibaba, I sought out team members who believed in our vision and were willing to push themselves to achieve it. Their energy and commitment reinforced my belief in what we could accomplish together. When you're in the right environment, your mindset naturally adapts to higher standards. Reprogramming your mind for greatness is an ongoing process. It requires self-awareness, practice, and patience. But as you build new habits and embrace positive thinking, you'll find that challenges become opportunities and limits become stepping stones. This mental transformation is what allows ordinary people to achieve extraordinary things. Success isn't just about financial achievements or personal recognition, it's about connecting your work to a purpose greater than yourself. At Alibaba, we didn't start the company to make money. We started it to help small businesses thrive in a digital world. That purpose gave our work meaning and inspired us to overcome even the most daunting challenges. When you connect with your life's purpose, everything you do feels more significant. I've often said, when you're poor, if you have a dream, you never feel poor. It's that sense of contributing to something larger than yourself that makes even the hardest days worthwhile. Purpose isn't just a motivator, it's a compass that keeps you aligned with what truly matters. Purpose also drives innovation. Knowing that our mission was to empower small businesses pushed us to think creatively and find solutions that no one else was offering. It wasn't just about competing, it was about creating value for others. That sense of contribution gave us the energy to keep building, even when the odds seemed stacked against us. What's more, a strong sense of purpose has a ripple effect. It inspires others to join you and share in your vision. At Alibaba, our mission resonated not only with our team, but also with the millions of customers we served. Purpose creates a community of like-minded people who believe in what you're doing and are willing to support it. Ultimately, connecting with your life's purpose transforms your journey. It shifts your focus from what you can achieve to what you can contribute. And when your work aligns with your purpose, you'll find that success isn't just about reaching your goals, it's about making a lasting impact on the world. One of the most underestimated resources in achieving success is energy. I've always believed that energy is more valuable than intelligence because without it, even the brightest ideas can't be executed. At Alibaba, we focused on creating a cycle of energy and productivity that kept us moving forward, even during the most demanding times. Energy comes from both physical and mental well-being. I made it a priority to encourage my team to take care of their health and manage their stress. Whether it was through exercise, proper rest, or simply taking breaks, these practices helped us stay sharp and creative. A healthy body and mind are essential for sustained productivity. Another aspect of maintaining energy is finding joy in your work. When you're passionate about what you do, work doesn't feel like a chore. It feels like an opportunity. At Alibaba, we celebrated every milestone, big or small, because those moments of joy fueled our motivation to keep going. Passion and positivity are powerful sources of energy. Creating routines that balance focus and recovery is also crucial. I've always encouraged my team to work hard, but also to know when to step back and recharge. It's like running a marathon. You can't sprint the whole way, but you can keep a steady pace with the right rhythm. This balance allowed us to maintain high levels of productivity without burning out. Building a cycle of energy and productivity is about more than just efficiency. It's about creating a sustainable way to achieve your goals. When you harness your energy and channel it effectively, you unlock a level of productivity that feels effortless. And with that momentum, even the biggest challenges become manageable. I believe that inside each of us lies a hero waiting to be awakened. This hero isn't defined by extraordinary talents or resources, but by the willingness to take action and make a difference. At Alibaba, I often reminded my team that we weren't just building a company, we were creating a legacy that could inspire others to dream bigger and aim higher. Awakening your inner hero starts with recognizing your potential. Many of us limit ourselves because we focus on what we lack instead of what we can offer. I've always said that success doesn't require perfection. It requires courage and persistence. Every great achievement begins with someone who dared to believe they could make a difference. This hero within you is also fueled by purpose. When you're connected to a cause or a mission that matters deeply, you'll find strength you didn't know you had. During the toughest moments at Alibaba, it was our shared purpose that kept us going. It wasn't about avoiding failure. It was about striving to create something meaningful, no matter the obstacles. The journey of awakening the hero within isn't about instant transformation. It's about taking small, consistent steps toward growth. Each time you push through a challenge, you uncover more of your potential. And as you continue, you inspire others to do the same. The hero within isn't just about personal success. It's about creating a ripple effect that touches lives around you. Every one of us has the power to be a hero. It's not about being extraordinary. It's about choosing to act, to grow, and to leave a positive impact on the world. And when you embrace that role, you'll find that the legacy you create will outlive anything you ever imagined.
The audience sat captivated, soaking in every word from Jack Ma, the visionary entrepreneur behind Alibaba. Over the years, Jack Ma has inspired millions not just with his success but with the lessons he learned along the way. In one of his most powerful presentations, he unpacked the secrets behind achieving extraordinary goals, touching on the state of flow, mental resilience, and the hero within each of us. His insights, delivered with humility and conviction, left everyone eager to take their next step toward greatness. One of the most remarkable concepts Jack Ma shared was the idea of flow. He described it as the ultimate state of productivity, where creativity and focus align perfectly. Athletes, artists, and entrepreneurs alike tap into this mental space to perform at their peak. For Jack Ma, achieving flow isn't accidental. It's cultivated through introspection and purposeful action. He emphasized that the ability to access this state regularly can set geniuses apart from the average, and it's something anyone can develop. But even with flow, Jack Ma reminded the audience that achieving greatness starts with the mind. He introduced the idea of reprogramming your mental framework to foster success. Visualizing your goals and reinforcing positive thoughts aren't just self-help mantras, they're transformative tools. The way you think shapes the way you act, Jack Ma said, encouraging individuals to replace doubt with confidence. It was a powerful reminder that our mindset is the foundation of everything we build. Amid the noise of opinions, distractions, and pressures, Jack Ma stressed the importance of building a mental fortress. He shared stories from his own journey, where ignoring external criticism was essential to focusing on his goals. When the world around you is loud, he said, your clarity becomes your shield. For Jack Ma, blocking out external noise isn't about isolation but about staying aligned with your vision. even when others don't believe in it. The highlight of the presentation, however, was Jack Ma's call to awaken the hero within. With a passion that resonated deeply, he reminded everyone that heroism isn't reserved for a chosen few. It lies dormant in each of us, waiting to be awakened. This journey of personal transformation, according to Jack Ma, starts with small steps and a commitment to creating a meaningful legacy. He urged his audience to not just focus on success but to aim for significance by leaving the world better than they found it. Jack Ma's emphasis on legacy went hand in hand with his belief in persistence. Challenges, he explained, are inevitable, but they are also the greatest teachers. Sharing his own experiences of near failure during Alibaba's early days, he spoke of the courage it takes to stay the course. For Jack Ma, those who can endure and adapt during tough times are the ones who ultimately emerge as leaders. Another striking point Jack Ma made was about embracing purpose. For him, connecting with a larger mission provides energy and direction even in the most trying times. He shared that Alibaba wasn't built just to generate profits. It was created to empower small businesses. This deeper sense of purpose, he explained, fueled the company's growth and inspired millions of people around the world. Jack Ma also revisited the idea of small wins as stepping stones. He explained how celebrating progress, no matter how minor, builds momentum. It creates a cycle of motivation that pushes you closer to your larger goals. With a smile, he recounted the first small milestones Alibaba achieved, noting how those moments of recognition ignited a spark in his team that never faded. In the closing moments of his speech, Jack Ma left the audience with a challenge: to live intentionally. He encouraged everyone to plan their days with purpose and to review their actions regularly. For Jack Ma, this practice isn't just about staying organized, it's about ensuring that every step taken aligns with a greater vision. It's a habit, he said, that separates dreamers from achievers. Jack Ma's presentation was more than motivational, it was transformative. His stories of perseverance, his lessons on mindset, and his call to action resonated with a room full of people ready to reimagine their potential. As he left the stage, the crowd erupted in applause, carrying with them a renewed belief in their ability to create greatness. Now it's your turn to apply these life-changing lessons from Jack Ma. Are you ready to block out the noise, tap into your flow, and awaken the hero within? These principles aren't just words, they're tools you can use to build a life of significance and impact. Start reprogramming your mindset today by visualizing your goals and embracing small wins along the way. What part of Jack Ma's message resonated most with you? Share your thoughts in the comments below and let the community know how you plan to use these insights in your own journey. Revisit this video whenever you need a boost of motivation, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for more transformative content. Stay tuned for the next video. Improve your life in 30 days. Do it every day. Never give up. Jack Ma's Life Lessons, where we'll explore even more actionable steps to fuel your success. Let's continue growing together.